ahorita?
No, it's kind of weird, but I sort of like started as of yesterday. I sort of decided to just to start back using, it's getting cool enough that I could wear halfway, formal clothes. And I really like wearing el saco, the tie, and everything. That's why I have all these ties here, allá atrás, right there. So I decided to start wearing them and going back into my normal look.
It's getting to the point that you don't have to wear sandals the whole day.
Well, it was so comfortable wearing sandals because of the heat. It was so hot, Sam. It was horribly, horribly hot. And if I didn't
Yeah.
have like I've had a day that I didn't have a wedding, I thought like, well, screw it, I'll wear sandals. I never got to the point where I was wearing shorts to work. That would have been humiliating and scary to the people that would walk in. But
Too
chanclas okay.
scary.
Yeah, too scary. Oh, I mean, my legs are okay. El problema es de que towards the bottom, I have these manchas on my leg because of some enfermedad that I had where I got these like sores on my legs and y me quedaron las manchas. And they say there's ways to clear them off and stuff and some cremas or something. I said, I'm okay with them being there. Actually, it's a good reminder for me. I don't care.
What they tell you? Concha laca or whatever it's called?
Uh, Arsnica, no? Arsnica? Arnica?
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, I just said, nah, let me leave him. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So I just leave him. Le dejo. But I am going back into the formal wear. Start wearing custom things. Uh, Sam, you're dying out. La cara de Sam.
I'm trying to get some more reception.
You look better. I hadn't had you on. I hadn't had you on since last week. No,
The what?
we hadn't had you seen you since last week. No,
Yeah. Was it yesterday that I was on it or the day before?
no. Yesterday Roman was on.
Oh, okay. Then it was the day before. I was there for a couple of minutes.
Oh, did you get to see the debate?
I have not seen it. I heard a lot of good and bad about it and all the theories of the microphone and all that other stuff. But I'm like, it goes back to the same thing, man. It's just the same bird.
Excellent. Uh, and again, it's kind of strange because uh, Trump was Trump, but he did pretty bad. But and Kamala did an amazing job. She did what she had to do.
Hey, does he look different? Like he looks
Yes,
slimmer from the face.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She had a makeover. Definitely had a makeover. She had a lot of
I don't know. It looked different. It was like I don't know. I don't know what's the whole or what's going on, but definitely he definitely looks different.
at least we're not the conspiracy theories that say that she was a double for. But a lot of people go out there and they start saying that, well, she had an earpiece in her earrings, and that could be possible. I don't know why it would matter, but again, a lot of people want to consider the.
It's a huge. It doesn't matter because it's she's not speaking on her own words. It's she's being told what to say by like a group of people or whoever they're having their thinking for her on the spot.
Well, I don't know if you've ever had those things on, but it's very hard to concentrate on what people are saying, and then you verbalize the words verbatim.
Yeah.
I don't think, again, I don't think that she was verbatim what somebody else was saying. I think it was more of someone could have given her clues or hints or go this route, go that route. That I understand, but again, at the end of the day, most of her words were hers, and again,
Yeah, because I know I've seen some other, I guess, videos where she's talking and then she just pretty much has a word vomit, and then I have not seen. I only seen clips, and she was kind of like very straightforward with everything that she was saying. And I'm hoping after like so many years of doing, I guess, public speaking, you would think you would have better, I guess, formats of speaking.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
I didn't believe a word she said.
yeah.
I mean, personally, I didn't believe anything she said because she didn't come back. She didn't. She like tries to come back to the middle where she's stated some very, very off wacky left things. I don't believe anything she says. It's a political game, and that's what I think what a lot of people. And again, I think the moderators did a fair job. I agree with a lot of people out there. I mean, they tried, but it's just very, very hard to take the liberal out of the media. You can take the media out of the liberal, you can't take the liberal out of the media. It was just there. So it is what it is. Supposedly that Kamala wants another debate.
Now she got a little bit more confidence or what?
Yeah, and honestly, I think Trump should go, should do it. I
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
let's do it.
by now people should know where they stand. Pretty much by now,
Yeah.
like they can keep on bringing the topics and everything, and they're just pretty much beating a dead horse at this
But
point.
let me tell you, one of the things that I think that stood out, it was just Trump being Trump. You know, the illegals eating cats and dogs. That is
He
everywhere.
needs to grow out of that stage. I know he's already like way past his like learning stage, but he needs to like stop saying nonsense.
Yeah, it's nonsense. And
It's already like, man, come on, grow up. It's difficult as it is going to the small towns, and then they literally just word for word everything that he says. The people from the small towns say literally,
yeah,
and it's sometimes it's rare that it's I do see it as well, like in the bigger cities, because I've even gone to places where it's just like I'll be eating and then they'll just like randomly start talking about immigration and stuff like that, which I can care less. Whatever, everybody has the freedom of speech, you know. But when you go to smaller towns, it's like it's all over the same thing. Everything that he says about the border wall, they just repeated the whole thing. But he needs to grow out of that stage where he's just word vomit, the whole hate speech. Not hate speech, but I guess they just go based on one story. Because I did see the video where supposedly they had caught an Asian eating a cat or whatever. I don't know if that's made up or not. But they just go off on one story and then just try to run with it, you know. But they need to see the bigger picture, have a little bit more, add some more intellect to the damn speeches, you know. Talk to more people who are like on the normal level.
let me tell you, yeah, guys, it's unfortunate. I understand what he's trying to do. He's trying to exaggerate an issue, to bring it home to people. We're not at that stage anymore. You don't have to tell us exaggerate. I mean, do illegal immigrants come over and do many of them commit crimes and stuff? Yes. A lot of them coming from jails, mental institutions. Yes, it's true. Something that we would all do if we were power in one of these little godforsaken states. But to exaggerate, like illegals are eating cats and dogs. Uh, so it's
He could go a different route where he's like, "Hey man, we do understand that there is an illegal immigration, I guess, issue. We do know that. Like, we can try to stop, put as many people as we can, like in the southern border, as well as in other ports of entry. Um, we can also try to see we can facilitate the process of like doing the whole visas and all that stuff. He could show numbers of the amount of people that the country needs on the amount of jobs that there are right now. Um, Stuff like that, man. Bringing in stats with like actual information that is useful, not just try to like throw hate speech all over the place. And there are some like random scenarios where there's, I guess, illegal aliens doing certain things, the whole rapes and the whole murders along the thing, or when they leave people in the desert and stuff like that.
well, I think I think something that you mentioned. is true. What starts happening is then a lot of these. You're on mute.
No, it's because there's something. Let me just pause the camera real quick.
Sure.
But I'll be here.
What happens, folks, is that then what happens is that a lot of times, and Sam mentioned this, and this is the thing that bothers me. They start bringing us all together into that group, and it happens a lot in these small towns, like in Arkansas and Northeast Texas. I know because, and I mentioned those because I live there. What starts happening is they think like, well, all Mexicans are like that, or all immigrants are like that, and that's not the fact. My grandparents, which immigrated into the United States, they never ate a dog and a cat, you know. But automatically, in the minds of a lot of these individuals out there that have little opportunity for research, they start thinking, dogs and cats, dogs and cats. And let me say, I agree with what Sam said, and other people have said. Trump doesn't need to do that. Doesn't have to go into the exaggeration mode. You know, don't have to go that far. Just remind the people that our economy sucks, our borders are open, crime is on the rise, aunque digan que no, and food prices are through the roof. It's crazy, and all you have to do to prove that is just go to the supermarket, and you're going to find that when you used to be paid $2.50 for creamer, now you're paying $5 for creamer. And I make mention of that because that's what I was about to pay, and I decided I think I could go without creamer. As per my blog guru and mentor, I focus on the local issues and matters where I'm affected directly. Wink, wink. Yes, 100%. And again, that's what everyone should be focused on. The reason we bring up the national politics is because of the debate that just happened. And it's just, it's very, very interesting. And one of the things I think that they started to bash ABC for because they would constantly state, and I've heard this a couple of times, oh, it's a historical debate, and that everyone was going like, oh, they're saying it about them to themselves, like, oh yeah, we've got a historical debate on our hands. And the fact of the matter is, it was a historical debate. It was a historical debate. You're talking about the first African American, Indian American, whatever Kamala Harris identifies herself as, or that's her option, uh, running for president. So yeah, there's a lot of glass ceilings that will be broken uh, by with her run, and if she were to become president of the United States. So it is historical. Kamala's plan was to incite him, y luego ya valió 100%, and she succeeded. Succeeded, got under his skin and let him have it. And again, it's a smart play. It's a smart tactic. It's one that everyone that runs for office needs to do. Something that I do constantly. I don't remember if I've shared this, but sometime back, I was at a debate forum when I ran against Carlos Elizondo and Otis Powers for the school board election that I won actually, and we were I think it was the AOBE forum, or it might have been Best. Can't remember. I think it was Best, and we were at the library, and they sat Otis Powers next to me, and I'm going like, oh, this is good for me, because every time I would speak about individuals throwing money, vendors throwing money into the buckets of board members, or former board members, I would just point to him directly, and I got under his skin because I was going like, these individuals, they take from the vendors, and they're going to be beholden to the vendors. Something that is true, guys, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in a little bit. But he was right there, so it was funny. But I could tell that he was getting so irritated because I think he's I think he's a gringo. I'm not sure, but the back of his neck was starting to turn red, 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 and I was going like, "Oh, I got you, I got you." So what happens is his arms were like this on the table, so I would get close and I'd go like this, and then I'd blow on his arm, and I would see his little hairs on his arm go flicker, 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 and he was getting redder and redder and redder because I wasn't stopping, and you try to get under your opponent's skin, and sure enough, next time I stood up and I said, na rata y todo, he got up and literally threatened to kick my ass. and it was recorded live. I was,
I think I do remember that that
I was laughing
debate.
my ass off. But that's what you do in a
Wasn't
debate.
the that one when he like literally like threatened you and it was
Yes,
like just straight out threat?
yes. I would take you to the back and kick your ass. Go like, what? You're saying this on a live, recorded live forum? It was
But
amazing.
yeah, like part of the thing, like once you become a politician, you kind of know those tricks. You know, it's part of the game, and you try to get like you do. I kind of put your facts out there, like what's your point of view and what the other person has done. But that's like yeah, and that's what they did to this guy. But he wasn't able to, I guess, come back with anything.
Yeah, and I did the same at this one. Like I was pointing towards Farley and Tim, because this is where I wanted to get to. Because both of them, they're receiving money from the both sides that are on the board right now. And let me say, folks, and we're going to have a couple of more forums, and I'm going to point this out, and I'm going to try to explain it. I'm going to try to explain it point per point, because a lot of people, Sam, they go out there and they say, "What's the number one problem with BISD?" And what do you? I mean, you've heard it out there. What is the number one problem with BISD, Sam?
Like if people literally don't know what are the issues, like the main issue, which is like their budget, it's it's been spread out like so many times. It's
Perfect.
ridiculous.
Okay, good. The budget is one of them. That's correct. Uh, Teacher salaries,
Yeah.
large classrooms, morale of teachers, and retaliation. Those are the things that you most hear. And to everyone that's listening, it's so important, because those are the issues that individuals speak about. And all the other candidates on the stage, Kata did a good job, but all the other candidates on the stage, they go like, well, I'm going to get you raises, and I'm going to get you these benefits, and I'm going to get you this, and I'm going to get you that. They made they one of the questions on there was, what are the main issues that are happening in BISD? And the problem, Sam, is that a lot of times a lot of these people don't know really how it works, and that's part of the problem. A lot of it is ignorance, and I know Terry knows what I'm talking about. The number one problem, Sam, with BISD, number one problem is the vendors, contractors, and the consultants. That's the number one problem, and the attorneys. And what I'm referring to is all these people, they put money in the pockets of politicians. So automatically, guys, if you're concerned about your salary, don't believe candidates that are going to say, "Oh, I'm going to, raise your salary," because 3.5 years ago they ran on that, and the individuals that won did nothing about it. The number one issue is that the money gets eaten up by the vendors. That is the number one problem, because the more money that goes to them, the less money that's going to be in the budget, the less money that's going to go out there for extracurricular activities, for special needs, the less money that is going to help in regards to lessening the number of students in your classroom. That is the number one issue. Think again, Sam. Uh, One of the big questions that should have been asked and hasn't been asked yet, like concerning the audit. That's why we need the audit. The audit. That's why we need the audit. Because one of the number one issues is like, where did the money go? You know, where did the money go? The $53 million
But
that was.
it's crazy though how they're just still keep on asking like, "Hey, we want like a particular or specific part to be audited, not the whole thing." It's outrageous.
Yeah, he's a perfect example of a sellout. He, as part of AB, is the past where totally critical of the blatant corruption in place, 100%. Now we agree with everything and vote with a majority he once despised. So sorry, very wrong. Quid pro quo, 100%. Yes, number one problem, as listed by you, sir. It is the number one problem. And the problem, Sam, is that the more money that is funneled away into vendors, contractors, lawyers, and consultants, the more money that they take, there's going to be less money, Sam. There's money, less money for raises, for a classroom size, for extracurricular activities.
Yeah,
It's
but they need to find out where to make those cuts. That way
exactamente
they could use the money accordingly.
100%. The district received 185 million dollars, Sam. That's not that's not pennies, Sam. 185 million dollars in regards to the ESSER funds. And I think it was like 12 million, 12 between 12 and 20 million from Elon Musk, the Elon Musk Foundation. Where did that money go? And if you actually had a fair, concise, deep down audit, you'd find that it went back to the vendors. And I'll give you one example, and just one. And again, I'm not there in regards to having the backstory of it, but insurance was between 7 to 14 million dollars in the hole. That's what insurance. It was in a hole, in un hoyo. Employee insurance was on the verge of collapsing completely. The ESSER money funds and administration uses some of the ESSER money for insurance to cover that hole without finding out what put us in that hole in the first place. And the money, Sam, was abused, used, and misused by vendors. The same vendors that continue to put money in the pocket of Farley, of Tim Ramirez, Nelda, all, all these individuals, Minerva Peña. And I hate saying that because I love Nelda. But Jesus Christ, if you're going to go out there and sell your soul to Baltasar Salazar, who wants to come back as the BISD board attorney, why? You have no need. You shouldn't. It goes against the principles. And I've asked, I know for a fact that Farley's getting funded by vendors. There's no doubt. Tim is getting supported by vendors. There's no doubt. Baltasar Salazar wants Farley to win. There's no doubt. He's got an open account at Fiesta Graphics out there for them to buy anything that they want. There's no doubt, guys. It's not. There's no doubt. And unfortunately, in that list is him. Uh, uh, what's the guy's name? But Nelda and Minerva Peña, whatever the hell they got. And that's unfortunate. That's just a very, very
Are you talking
unfortunate.
about that fourth guy, that Augie guy?
No, Augie's not receiving money from vendors.
Oh no, I thought
Augie,
you were just trying to mention the
no,
candidates.
Augie's a great guy. Augie's a great guy. It's a nice guy. Guys, let me tell you, I have a lot of respect for Augie. I, if I was a complete a hole, I come out and say, oh, they're all three of them are receiving money from vendors, and Augie is not. Augie is not. And again, I think his heart is in the right place. I think he's a great individual. I have nothing bad to say about Augie at all. Unfortunately for us, and again, Tim's a very good friend of mine, very very good friend. Unfortunately for us, Tim and Farley, are got the vendors up their wazoo, and that's unfortunate, folks. That's unfortunate because when you've got candidates that are receiving money from vendors, you think it's going to stop if they get elected? It's not going to stop. And the more money that they take from vendors, the more contracts, the more benefits that they have to throw at these individuals, the vendors, contractors, the lawyers, and the consultants. The same money, guys. So at the end of the day, if you're not getting a raise this year, it's because of the number one problem with BISD, the vendors that take money, that the candidates and the board members that take money from vendors. That's simple. Rene was a master of circulating procurement to benefit all his vendor buddies. Yes. And in doing so, his pocket and that of the board. Yes. 100% correct. This is the number one issue at BISD. So to all the school board associations out there and to all teachers and counselors and principals, guys, after this election, stop bitching about your money, your raises, the mistreatment. Stop bitching about there's retaliation. Stop bitching about it, because if you vote these people's way, you are the main problem with the electoral process here, because they're not going to be beholden to you. They're going to put money back into the pockets of vendors, contractors, consultants, and lawyers. Look at the agenda. This
But it
past
also goes back to the whole majority that keep on like doing those moves.
exactamente. Jesus is walking in his slimy footsteps, aided by the Kool-Aid chuggers and greedy upper administration placed by the net as personal paybacks. Yes, and Terry knows. Mr. Anduisa is genuine and really wants change because he's been inside the system as a great employee and not a brown noser. I like him too. I like him too. Again, and I again a lot of respect. Is he ready to go in there and kick some ass? No. The only candidate, guys, in place 7 that is going go in there and kick their ass, kick them in the nuts is Erasmo Castro. That's simple. The only one that's going to be transparent, is going to tell you like it is going to be open about. And again, I'm expecting them to come out. Oh well, he got a DWI. Oh well, he resigned from the board. I'm expecting all this stuff. Oh well, he had someone kiss him on the cheek. I'm expecting all this stuff. I mean, trust me, I have thick skin when it comes to all that. I'm expecting it. But let me tell you all, I could usually give as well as I could take, and I've dealt with Baltasar Salazar before, face to face, mano a mano, and let me tell you, he tried to get the best of me. He failed, and because of it, and because of the scheming and evil that these individuals are, Minerva Peña is evil to the core. Sorry, she is evil, evil to the core, and Baltasar Salazar is evil to the core. And anyone out there that they're putting money into their campaigns, let me tell you, can't be any better. Because if you're accepting help from Baltasar Salazar, you're a disgrace to this community, a disgrace to BISD. It's just that simple. And let me say, it's really, really unfortunate. I expected a lot more from candidates like Nelda. Expected a lot more. I prayed that she wouldn't be part of that problem, part of that little group. You got to be beholden only to the students, teachers, and to staff, and the community as a whole. That's it. No strings attached. Unfortunately for us, all these guys got strings attached all over and a big old puppet stick stuck up their ass. That's all I'm going to say about
That
that.
got triggered.
Well, it's crazy because I got very pissed off, and I don't know if you saw the show and I mentioned it. I got very pissed off at Maggie. Maggie's got a big old Farley sign on her property. And it's unfortunate because she should know better. But this goes to prove that having a little degree, a doctorate degree, it doesn't make you not stupid. You know, because it's kind of strange because someone said, well, you made Maggie what she is, and because of the little group. And look, I pray to God that that's not true, because I hope that I would have created something a little bit more brighter than someone who is just a part of the problem now. Because if you're out there supporting Farley, you are part of the problem. Farley is being funded by the same corrupt political machine at BISD that has everyone out there, all the complaints that people go out there and send to Maggie, BISD staff, all those complaints that you go out there and send to Maggie, like, oh, Maggie, go post this, go post this, go post. All those complaints are being funded by vendors, contractors, and everything else. And what I mean is, if you're out there bitching about retaliation, if you're out there bitching about your raise, if you're out there bitching about long hours, having to come in weekends, and all those things, all that happens because of the vendors, the contractors, and the lawyers and consultants that are supporting Farley, who the person that you're sending these messages to has a big old sign at the front of the yard. That's what's unfortunate. Sorry. People are going to complain. The bigger problem is people who lives behind. I'm sure Denise and Daniela have influence with their elections about the Remy or whatever his name is. Remy's his name. Remy Garza, like her mother, is cray cray. Uh, I I say suck, but you are in a bubble. Who cares about the election? I care, and you should care. Everyone in the community should care. Community has been fooled to the good old boy, Brownsville boy, fake personality of Jesus Chavez. He is not. Farley has a lot of backing. The only way to make it is with money. Well, the more money that he makes, the less money that there will be for raises, for classroom size reduction, for extracurricular activities. So yeah, he could get all the money he wants from them. Que salió del FBI? Uh, I'm going to think that that one of the reasons why individuals like Sylvia Atkinson's sisters are no longer there. Recently, Sandra Powers resigned. One of the reasons I think that they're no longer there is because they started to uncover a lot of the things that we've been screaming about for years. And again, let me say this: I've been screaming about PUB and Tenasca for years now, years, and the only one. And everyone back there was like, "Ay, Erasmo está exagerado. Y, ay, no, Erasmo is just so negative." Until the audit came out. And after the audit came out, they go like, "Oh my God, Erasmo was right." So let me tell you guys, when I speak of these things, it's not because I don't know, I'm making them up, or I'm pulling them out of my ass. I speak of them because I know. And that's one of the things that I wish that my proteges, Maggie, one of the things I wish Maggie would have learned. There's a bigger picture out there. It's not a limited little, tiny little bit. It's not a little story that someone sends me online. There's a bigger picture on there. I'll give you one example. When they came to me and said about the fertilizer, you know, and I said, the fertilizer. So I looked into it. I consulted with several resources out there, and then found it for a fact that we spent. I think was it $50,000? Can't remember. Crap load of money on fertilizer that no servía. And again, it put money in the seller's pocket, the vendor's pocket, put money into probably individuals at maintenance. It took money away from you. And let's say it was $50,000. That's $50,000 that could have gone for DI, could have gone for teacher enhancement program. $50,000. That's just one example, folks. One example. There's a bigger picture out there. It, what vendors made money, what maintenance personnel made money. Those are the ones that you have to watch out for. Either that sirvió because all that fertilizer was then had been destroyed. My guesses are there's going to be more individuals in upper administration that are going to be questioned. I think finance is a big one, and I still think that a lot of the federal funds that come in, federal funds are going to be taking a hit. He is
And
arrogant.
that's just one of the few stories that are out there that got to we just happened to like stumble upon. But I'm pretty sure that there's like many more things going on.
Oh, 100%. Without doubt. Yes, very arrogant. So Maggie doesn't have your sign on her. No, she has a Farley sign on her yard. And again, it's her choice, like, her choice to make. It's a stupid choice. I mean, again, could have a doctorate degree. You have to have two or three doctorate degree. Doesn't make you any less stupid. Stupid. I changed my vote from Farley since hearing about his funny. Again, and let's wait. Let's wait till the campaign finance reports come out, and I'm hoping that they're truthful. Now, two things, guys. What you're going to find is individuals that are going to put on their campaign finance reform that they received money from these vendors or from current board members. That is just as concerning. Actually, I think that's even more concerning because what happens is the vendors will give the money to Carlos. Carlos, just an example. It's just an example. They'll give it to Carlos, and then Carlos will find a way to put that money into Farley. That's just an example. Or Daniela and Denise, they get their people to put money into, I don't know, Tim Ramirez's campaign. It's just an example. And that's what's unfortunate. That is even more concerning because automatically you start to realize that's just a game. It's just a game. And they're winning, and we all are losing. And anyone out there that is voting for Farley or Tim, you're hurting yourself. If you're a teacher or a counselor or a principal, you're hurting yourself. But worse, you're hurting your students. It's just that simple. Yeah, Senator Powers has resigned. Che, BID, bien, chuecos, Browntown will never move forward. No,
Not that they have the same people, you know,
no.
but you just have to have like quite a, at least several more making some good choices.
How do you make people care? It's, it's not easy. People need to start to care more
They
about.
start caring once it started affecting them directly.
Yeah, and I'm praying, Sam. I'm praying I'm praying that a lot of people out there.
Once they have like a child like in band or sports or DI, like you said, and they get a message from like the, I guess, the sponsors saying that there's no money because the district is not helping them out, then they start caring.
Exactamente. Uh, you can't make arguments out of authority. Hold on, I'm going to. You can't make arguments out of authority. This is a good comment. You can't make arguments out of authority. Look at the Dr. Gallegos and her dad, Dr. Gallegos, both doctors, both listed in indictments. Um, yeah, and the Gallegos trial is going to be so interesting. The one that's going on, and it's really very unfortunate because a lot of these folks that carry these doctorate degrees, should have known better. They should have known better, and it's really unfortunate. Fortunate, really unfortunate. Hey Jude. Mande. Sorry. Actually, a board member was calling. I thought, like, oh, you are right about the fertilizer fiasco. No matter if it was 50 grand or 10 grand, it was kids' money, 100%. And again, it's just money that should have gone to you guys, and that's unfortunate.
When that call came in, I was waiting for the "que te pasa."
¿Qué te pasa? Oye, ahí tienes a Dr. Nick, que es un Christian lady that turns around and when they pull off their mamadas. I'm not sure what that movie is. Uh, that was only one of multiple situations where vendors and corrupt administration is bleeding the district to death. 100%. When will the vendors and the others be exposed? We've been trying, Lalo, for a long time. We've been doing our best. No one listens. And again, the only way that you're going to go out there and get a list of the individuals, and again, the individuals that have these answers in regards to exactly who is funneling money away, are the individuals that are currently on the board. So it's a great question to ask. We get a glimpse of it when you look at the financial statements, financial reports that come in, a glimpse. But that's all you get, and that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Is This is a money racket. Take money out of politics, 100%, and that's why we need campaign finance reform, without a doubt. Question: Is the Gallegos trial going to be open to the public? It's in federal court, right? And that was Marisa, right? Oh yes, it was Marisa, and yes, it will be open to the public. Individuals will be have an opportunity to attend. Individuals have an opportunity to check it out. One of the things that I think one of the things that I think happens at federal court is you cannot take a phone into the courtroom. So that's automatically going to be an out. Not going to be able to have phones in the courtroom. So it's going to be interesting. Uh, I'm going to try to attend maybe one or two of the hearings out there. It just takes away so much of your time, Sam. And then I don't know if I could survive being that much time away from my phone.
Yeah,
They need an audit, but the viejas on the board don't want it covering for Papi. 100%.
yeah. Well, that's why they've been they not that they've been covering it. They wanted to kind of deviate it from something that there might be they know of. Not exactly saying that there is something, but they're trying to make it more specific. And I understand they're trying to, I guess, minimize the expense. But man, like it's something that you need. You know.
I'll get you that date. I honestly, I don't know. Where's my internet? What the hell is happening to my internet? Oops. The family's going down. Gotcha. How old is that? I think his dad's, I think he's in the 80s already. Late 70s or 80s. Not sure. Yeah. Campaign finance reports are a joke, a farce, and everybody like, again, what Terry's saying is 100% correct. You only get a small glimpse from campaign finance reports because there's so many other ways to circumvent this. Individuals are giving cash money via. It's like this guy received this money and then this guy puts it into their account. I'm sure that the Baltasar Salazar account that he has at Fiesta Graphics, he probably has it under Liz Realty or some crap like that, or Tom Peters from Houston, Texas, or something like that. That's the way they work. The difference is that with individuals like me, I'll be able to spot it, spot the little side notes. The dad might not come out of it if he is old. It depends on the time they give him. I'm thinking they were looking. I think I have a problem with the front of. Guys, I gotta go. Got a situation from my front office. Guys, I gotta go.
All right, man. Talk to you later.
God bless.